Come on in, guys. Welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're talking about 5 times the Survivor editors had a bit of fun. Survivor is an underratedly hilarious show, and a lot of that humor comes from Survivor's well-oiled, pitch-perfect editing. There's great and abundant use of dramatic irony, clever foreshadowing, even visual puns. But today, I want to talk about 5 times they went above and beyond even all of that, manufacturing humor out of essentially nothing. These are 5 moments when the people behind the scenes were at their absolute cheekiest, sometimes even literally, using editing tricks or lower thirds to make jokes or generally clown on contestants. All of these jokes, basically, were completely created in the editing bay. If you're not sure what I mean, you will soon. That said, let's dig into 5 times the Survivor editors made some pretty hilarious jokes out of thin air. At number 5, we have 2 times the editors threw in noises to make fun of a player. The first takes us all the way back to Survivor Australia, proof that Survivor has always had a penchant for making fun of their more extravagant characters. In the recap episode, which aired as episode 9, we're shown secret scenes from the first 24 days of the season. And one scene takes us back to night 6 at Ogakor, where Jerry serenades Tina, Colby, Keith, and all the rest with a little Fiona Apple tune. Unfortunately, this scene has been completely scrubbed from streaming platforms because CBS doesn't want to cough up the cash to license the song. So I guess you'll just have to trust me on this one. But as she sings, the editors lay over some geese honking noises to really lay it on thick that Jerry isn't that great of a singer. Now, I'm no bird expert. My experience with birds essentially tops out at knowing what they are. But my understanding is that there are no geese in the land down under, which just makes this an even more hilarious dunking. Flash forward 16 seasons later, and we got another use of bird noises to make fun of a player. This time, it's the eagle noises used to punctuate every silly thing Coach did in both Survivor Tocantins and Heroes vs. Villains. Coach tells a larger-than-life tall tale, throw in an eagle screech. Coach climbs a hill, that's an eagle screech. Casts a vote, you better believe that's an eagle screech.
King Arthur's journey has officially ended.
This was used to great effect in Coach's legendary visit to Exile Island, where he endured a punishing trial that no one else could have survived. Well, other than Brendan, Taj, Sierra, Steven, Joe, and Aaron. But did they get eagle screeches? At number 4 is the only moment on this list that wasn't completely manufactured in editing, but it's still pretty manufactured. In Winners at War, for some reason, Nick was completely dunked on in the edit, despite playing pretty well from the bottom for a lot of the game and going pretty far. But the dunking of Nick came to a head with the episode 8 montage of him seemingly appearing out of nowhere, stumbling into conversations like a total creeper. Nick, who just a few seasons earlier was one of the most popular players on the most well-received season in recent memory, a guy who deftly used clever social manipulation and all-time great advantage plays to make it to the end and win against really stiff competition, was turned into a creepin' vampire punchline in Winners at War. Look, there's nothing wrong with what he's doing here. He's just walking into frame of the camera. There's definitely some basis in reality for this because Ben does mention how this kind of happens a lot. However, I'd wager that pretty much everyone is always stumbling into others' conversations. That's like a thing you gotta do in Survivor. Still, the montage is admittedly hilarious and just makes Nick more of an endearing character in Survivor lore. Now, get out of here, Nick. You're kinda lingering. Our number 3 best editing joke is a time-lapse joke from Survivor Redemption Island from the episode 9 Immunity Challenge. Alright, a classic eat or play challenge, and Philip and Steve are the only 2 who opt to eat. And as the time elapses in the challenge, so too do the burgers elapsed into Philip and Steve's stomachs. Burgers elapsed, Survivor. Now, I've seen it argued that this season was such a humorless slog that they had to edit jokes into it. And there may be a kernel of truth to that. But still, this is a pretty funny way to, after 10 years on the air, start to play with our expectations of the show. Personally, I'd love to see this brought to more aspects of Survivor. Negotiations elapsed, grandstandings elapsed, Jobs elapsed. Wait, do numbers go that high? Well, hey, speaking of, the second best editing joke on Survivor is another 2-for-1 deal, this time when players' jobs were made the punchline. Survivor has always shown the careers of players in their lower third, and they're often hilarious. In fact, I did a whole video on the funniest job titles in Survivor history, so you should go totally check that out. But only twice have they used it as an opportunity to completely make fun of the survivors. The first was with Philip in Redemption Island, very famously a former federal agent... ? What? Federal agents can't wear baggy pink panties? What? Federal agents can't honor their ancestor Jessam Herring? What? Federal agents can't overeat beef to the point their bowels are obstructed and they have to leave the game? Oh, wait, wrong former federal agent. But speaking of beefy brains, Debbie Wanner of Survivor Co-Wrong was also made fun of in the edit, with her ever-revolving job titles from chemist to Civil Air Patrol captain to waitress to part-time model. That's on top of other jobs she claims to have had that didn't even make the lower third, like water analyst, bartender, caretaker to none, and poacher. These are the only times in Survivor history where the editors use the contestant's job itself to mock them. Imagine if other players had question marks thrown on the end of their job title. You go from public defender to public defender? Student to student? Russell Hance's nephew to Russell Hance's nephew? The best editing joke in Survivor history is a rather cheeky chiron from Survivor Pearl Islands. During the Episode 1 Immunity Challenge, Drake and Morgan have to push a giant cannon through the jungle. And early on, Morgan is trailing. Don't take my word for it, though. Just look at the text on the screen. During the challenge, Austin jettisons his boxers, which keep falling down due to his weight loss. And in solidarity with OT, Savage and Rhino drop their underwear too.
They better hope they don't lose their weenies out here.
Good looking out, Sandra. Now that 3/4 of the Morgan boys are nude as the day they were born, the chiron changes from Morgan trailing to Morgan behind. See, cause it's their butts. It's a total dad joke, but it's kinda weirdly wholesome and sort of adorable. Of course, the additional aerodynamicism provided by Savage, Rhino, and Austin's freeballin' didn't help, and Morgan loses regardless. But hey, at least none of the lads lost their weenies. Silver linings, folks. Got nothing else for ya. To help me keep Survivor YouTuber on my lower third, like and subscribe and I'll get you more Survivor content just like this. Until next time, don't get idled out.